There is intense scrutiny on the Trump administration's cabinet of millionaires and billionaires, as well as the president himself, and whether their business lives and their lavish lifestyles are in conflict with their public responsibilities now. At least 6 current cabinet members are under ethics investigation, and some historians are already saying this is the most corrupt administration since Warren Harding's in the 1920s. 50 years before Watergate, the biggest political scandal involving an American president was the Teapot Dome affair. And at the time, it was very big news indeed. Republican President Warren Harding was elected in 1920, and one of the first things he did was transfer supervision of land with oil reserves set aside for the US Navy from the Navy itself to the Department of the Interior. That wasn't such a big deal. Interior Secretary Albert Bacon Fall, yes, Bacon was his middle name, granted exclusive rights to the reserves at Teapot Dome, Wyoming to the Mammoth Oil Company, and similar rights at Elk Hills and Buena Vista Hills in California to the Pan American Petroleum Company. That was a fairly big deal because it was done in secret and without due process. The US Senate launched an investigation. They discovered Secretary Fall's family had mysteriously received $200,000 worth of government bonds. Turns out that came from people linked to Mammoth Oil. The Senate also discovered a $100,000 cash payment to Fall from Pan American, which was officially a loan, but a loan that wasn't repaid because it wasn't really a loan. And that was a very, very big deal. Congress ordered President Harding to scrap the oil leases. The Supreme Court ruled the leases fraudulent and said Harding's transfer of authority from the Navy to Interior was illegal. Under intense pressure, Harding embarked on a 15,000-mile whistle-stop tour to try and regain public support ahead of the 1924 election, including the first ever presidential tour to the territory of Alaska. But then President Harding did something even more surprising. He died at the age of 58. Some said it was the pressure of the Teapot Dome scandal that caused his heart attack. Others said Harding's wife Florence poisoned him as revenge for his serial philandering. The proof? Well, there wasn't really much. Florence did refuse an autopsy and had her husband quickly embalmed, and he was a philanderer, but that's about it for actual evidence. Meanwhile, Albert Bacon Fall was sent to jail. So was the head of Mammoth Oil, Harry Sinclair, for contempt, not bribery. And Teapot Dome went down in history as an example of corruption at the highest level of government. Harding was seen as more hapless than complicit, and the new president, Calvin Coolidge, or Silent Cal, won the election the following year.